Hi everyone. This screencast is designed to talk about the final project that you'll be completing in weeks 4 and 5 for EDSP 583. So you have an option, like any great learning activity, we want to make sure that you have choice. Your option is between creating an online learning space for students or creating a more traditional unit of lesson plans based on the understanding by design process. Either one of those will get you full credit for the tasks. So I've got detailed directions linked here, as well as a rubric linked here to help you understand more about each side. So creating an online learning space, you're going to use some kind of online tool. You could use just a free website or a blog post, but it's probably easier to use something that's designed to have different activities for students. So that might look like Google Classroom or Edmodo, Canvas. Teachers can use that individually for free. So some kind of online learning platform in order for you to be able to build a space for your teaching and for student learning to take place. The project requirements are that the work that you do and the work that students will do needs to relate to those net standards for teachers and students. And I don't know that you need to start from scratch. I think you should take a lesson or a unit that you feel like needs work, it's ready for an update, and start with something that you have already, if that's possible. And that way you can adapt things that you have or things even online through this class that you found, instead of trying to start right from the beginning. Ultimately, you're going to have 3 to 5 activities or lessons related to a big idea or main theme. And these are what students will do. So make sure that the work that you're defining, you're building the activity, but kids should be interacting with technology. Kids should be interacting with knowledge. It should be NETS appropriate. It should have state and national content standards linked to it. It should incorporate best practices for gifted students, as we've learned so far in our course and in previous courses. And it should have lesson plans as well as whatever's needed for students to be able to do the activities. You're also going to have 8 to 10 links related to resources and content that students will need to have access to, maybe some discussion topics. There should be an overview of your unit so we understand what the purposes and context is. And then there should be some kind of assessment or rubric for student work. I've divided up this particular activity into 2 different chunks. By the end of week 4, I've got a list of things that need to be finished, and then by the end of week 5, you'll be posting this work in our discussion board labeled Final Project in order for you to get feedback from peers about your progress. So rather than completely finishing your product and posting online, we want to see it in action as you're building it so that we can give you feedback throughout. And really what I find that students do a great job of is, hey, this is like this other resource I found. Have you tried this? Have you looked at this? So really it should broaden the amount of tools and resources you have available for students because other people will know about things and can add those to you or to your space. I've got an evaluation here it's really based on the backwards design process. And this particular rubric is not strong in the technology assessment piece. So again, use those NETS or maybe the previous rubrics that you used when you were evaluating your own uses in order to determine whether you've got all the pieces in there that you want to have. The second option is to build a unit, and in this you'll create at least 4 lesson plans, each one a different level of Bloom's thinking hierarchy, and you should have big ideas and some essential questions in order to guide student learning. And then I've got lesson plan templates from Xavier and unit plan templates to help you with your work. So there should be an assessment related to your tasks for students. There should be some content based on core content standards. And then during week 4, you'll do the first 2 lessons and make sure you have those ready to go. And then week 5, you'll do the final 2 lessons for students. So I just want to reinforce that in addition to great curriculum design, we're looking for good uses of technology, and that's not what you're doing with technology. That is what students are using with technology. Remember the things you've read about student ownership of learning. Remember the things that we've read about in terms of giftedness and choice and student agency. All of those are going to be, you're trying to design activities that empower students to do the work rather than you telling them all the information and them making a poster. So we want to kind of get beyond the traditional role of teacher as the sole source of information in the classroom. Technology allows you to get beyond that. So the kids should be working and doing actually more than the teacher is, and the teacher serves as a coach or a guide. So as you're designing your lessons, be thinking about how that might look in your particular content area. Thanks very much.